Hey roamers, it's Jamie back at you. What we're going to be doing today is we're going to give a whole new look to the entry steps on Rosie 2.3. Now when you buy your RV, usually it's pretty utilitarian looking. So being that we did everything on the inside of Rosie, updating the cabinets, painting the walls, and also doing those new window treatments, I want the entry step to look just as nice as how all that came out. All that's going to be on this episode of Roaming with Rosie. On previous episodes, we showed you how we took our 2017 Holiday Rambler Vacationer from a dark, claustrophobic interior to a new, light, bright, more comfortable home on wheels. You can watch the whole series if you click on this QR code here, but we'll also put a link down in the description of this video down below. The next job in the renovation was the entry steps. Now when we looked at after everything we had done on the inside of the RV, the entry steps just didn't match what we had done on the inside. So what we're going to do is we're going to make it look every bit as good as the rest of the interior of the RV. So let's get started. So hey guys, we're here at Lowe's. We're going to get a cart, we're going to do some shopping, we're redoing the steps in the RV. Let's go get our stuff. So I'm getting two of these because I'm going to use these on the side walls where the step area is. So these are going to go up on the side of the wall. So I need two of these. And I'm using this Max Premium by Loctite. It's adhesive, so I'm going to use that to glue down the steps. All right, let's go build them. The next thing I want to do is I want to tear this area apart where the stairs are. And you're actually able to access it because that's where the batteries used to be. I've moved all those. So you just got to unscrew this here. There's one on each side. Well, I got to do these ones here.
It's screwed in that many times, or is it stripped?
No, it's screwed in that far.
Wow, let me see how big they were. Wow.
So that'll come out. And as you can see down there, there was the tray where the batteries were sitting.
Could that be where ants were coming in?
Possibly.
Because we couldn't figure out. They were right here. They were right in that area. We couldn't figure out how they were getting there. And I thought they were coming up through this.
I'm going to keep this metal piece so that when I put my wood step up here, that's going to help with any moisture that may shoot up. So I'm going to keep that. But this piece is going to go away, this piece here, because we're going to replace that with a piece of oak. And then I got to tear this apart here and pull that up because there's going to be another piece of oak that's going to go here. So this piece here I'm going to reuse. It's like a threshold in a normal door. And then this rubber piece is going to go away. And this wood piece here is going to go away because we're going to replace that with the oak. I chose oak. The reason being oak is very hard. I got this from Lowe's and it's more cost effective than some of the other hardwoods. It's actually a stair tread. They're pre-made. They're 48 inches long and 11.5 inches wide. So I bought that for the main step, and then the very first step that you step in is kind of a short step. So I bought oak for that. It's just a flat piece of oak, so I'm going to cut a piece of oak for that. And also for the riser that goes in between the first step and this step, I'm going to cut a piece for that out of this same oak. So what I need to do now is just cut my pieces to fit in where I want them to go. So it's not really a big project, but it's kind of time consuming, and just want to make sure you cut all your stuff correctly because this isn't cheap. So what I'm doing is I'm just checking to make sure things fit. So this is going to fit fine. So I'm going to pull that out because I still have to clear coat it. And then I just want to double check what I got here. So the piece that you get from Lowe's, or I think you can get them from Home Depot too, is 11.5. In the RV, the step is basically 12 inches. So what I did was I took a piece of oak and I ripped myself down a filler piece that I'm going to glue and nail onto the back side of this. So this piece is 3/4 inch thick, and because the pieces that I'm pulling off of there that were for the riser part, those were 1/2 inch. So that's going to work out well because what I'm replacing them with is 3/4. So that's going to give me about 1/4 inch overhang over these. So that's going to work out perfectly. So what I did is I cut this down. Now I've glued it. Now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to nail it on the back side here. Now that I got that glued and nailed on there, I just want to sand it a little bit so it blends pretty nicely. So I'm just going to hit it with my sander. This is 220, so I'm just going to hit it with that real quick. So I got that on there, and it's sanded. It's all nice and smooth. And when you look at it, you could barely see that there was a piece even attached there.
On camera, you can see it a lot.
I don't know what to tell you.
But to my eye, it doesn't look like as much of a difference as it does on camera.
Look here. That compared to there.
Did you do that's the piece they added that was rounded?
Mm-hmm.
So it looks as good as that professionally done piece.
Yes.
But I would fire that professional.
Now that we have our pieces all cut, I'm going to use the same stuff that I used on my valances. I'm using this polyurethane, the triple thick. It's water-based, and it's a clear satin. You don't want to shake it. If you shake it, you get nothing but bubbles, and you don't want bubbles. If you need to, you just stir it up with a stir stick, and then that's good. Just don't do anything that's going to promote bubbles. And you want to make sure and go down your edges so you don't get any buildup. Otherwise, if it builds up, it'll dry like that, and it'll look kind of like what a glazed donut looks like. So I'm going to let that sit for like 4 hours, come back, put another coat. I'm going to do 3 coats. Because they're steps, we're going to be walking in and out with sand and all that kind of stuff on our shoes. So I want to make sure I got a good enough, nice coat on there to protect those. Once I have 3 coats on this side, I'm going to flip it over and do the other side. A lot of people are going to say, why are you doing the back side? Because you're never going to step on it or anything like that. To waterproof it. To, if any moisture or whatever was to get in there, we want to make sure we have something to protect the underside so we don't get any damage to the wood coming up from the bottom. Because I'm replacing the treads with oak, and I'm going to be replacing these with oak, the risers, I need to be able to remove those. And right now they're glued to the metal piece, which I want to keep for weather protection. So what I need to do is cut those loose of that glue. So I'm using this saw. This is a saw that's basically for doing like laminate flooring. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to hold this open, and I'm going to use the saw to basically cut the adhesive.
It's not working. I guess I inspired you.
So now what I need to do is this piece here, it's basically like L bracket. I need to unscrew that and pull that up so I can get access to this other piece here.
As usual, the things you don't want to come apart, and the things you want to come apart don't come apart. He just went for more tools. This is definitely one of those cases where the camera's on, so he's not cussing.
There. Yeah, it's denting.
He is cussing. Ooh, you're denting the metal again. So you're basically rebuilding the stairs.
Yep.
You didn't know that.
Well, now I gotta get rid of all this adhesive on here.
How do I get out of here? Are you going to do that right now?
Yeah, I gotta get a razor blade.
Okay. Why are those on there? Were they blobs from the glue?
That's the glue that held that on there.
So that was the back of the thing you pulled off. Oh, you gotta move the glue. He's now wondering if he even needs that piece of wood.
Let's see what we got.
You're just gonna keep taking it apart? The whole metal pan goes up over in that corner.
That is because this is all a sheet metal thing that was put together.
Oh.
So there's this side
It's underneath that
goes
piece
like
of
that,
wood.
and then it's screwed into the side here.
Gotcha. Now it sits flat.
All right, so I've put 3 coats on the first side. That's going to be the side that's actually up that you see. Now I'm going to do the bottom side, and I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to put 3 coats on there, and the only reason I'm doing that is I want to be able to protect it from any moisture or anything coming up from the bottom side. Now what I'm doing is I'm cutting the pieces that go above the upper step, that wall right there. So it's 9 inches wide, and I couldn't find any material for that. So what I did is I bought a 5-inch piece, a 5.5-inch piece, and a 3.5-inch piece. I'm going to seam those together. So what I'm doing now is I'm cutting those pieces, and then I got to clear coat those the same way that I did everything else. So now that we have all the wood pieces ready for the steps, I'm going to start installing them. This stuff down here, I had to put a piece of plywood and then some shims over here, and I taped it all down so it didn't move. Basically, this metal tray over here and over here is up higher. This is sunken, so that's why I had to do all that, so that when I lay my piece of wood down that it's flat. Okay, now I got one in place, I can drill all the others. So for the wood pieces that are going to go here and down here, and then also right here. I'm using this Loctite PL Max Premium, and the reason I'm choosing that is because when I looked at the side here where it says what it'll adhere to, it specifically said wood, and it also specifically said metals. I would like to be able to screw it from the back side, but unfortunately this is where the stairs are that go into the mechanical stairs, and they kind of, all that mechanism kind of blocks being able to get in there with a drill. So this stuff should hold it pretty good. I mean, it was glued before, so it should work out well.
So if you'd put the glue between the two pieces of wood, that would have actually created a gap, huh? Or it could have.
Yeah, and it would have squeezed out.
Right.
Now that we got the beautiful new wood steps in here, we need to replace this black that's on the side because it's scuffed up and it's not going to look good. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull from what I did on first Rosie, where I took that ceiling, looks like ceiling tin, but it's actually made out of plastic. So I'm going to use that on the sides. So what I need to do is I need to measure how long it is and how tall it is, cut that, and then I need to cut this shape basically around onto that plastic piece. And then the other thing I need to do is cut where this sensor is, so I need to cut that out as well before I can install it. Now that we have the pieces cut, I have it dry fit, so I haven't glued it yet, but I just wanted to make sure that it's fitting in there correctly and everything. So now what I need to do is I need to put my adhesive on there and stick it on there and let that dry, and then we could put this final piece on the top. So what I'm doing is I'm using the same adhesive that I did for securing the steps. You just want to make sure that whatever you use is compatible with plastic, because this is made out of plastic. So you want to make sure it's compatible with plastic and also wood. So I'm going to go ahead and get that on the back here. Now along these edges, I'm actually gonna run a bead of caulk so it's a nice clean edge. And then back here, because we have other types of caulking and adhesive for these wires, I'm gonna fill that with caulking as well. One, so it gets this to lay down better, and two, to create a waterproof area and we won't get any ants, because we had a situation where we had a bunch of ants come in and they were basically coming up through where the steps were. All right, so the next step is I got to put my top piece on there. Okay, now that we got the steps are all in, our side pieces are in, I got to put this top piece that goes around the edge there. I repainted that because it was scuffed up. It's made out of aluminum, and I painted it with bed liner paint so that it has some texture, so it hides the imperfections that are in it from it being there all these years. So just need to slide that on there and then screw it down. Okay, we'll just put our screws in. I use the same paint on the screws so everything matches. Okay, now we got that piece in. Last thing we need to do is I need to caulk along the edges. One, to cover any seams that there may be, and then two, make it not only waterproof but pest proof, so we don't have any ants or any of that kind of stuff.
Go get your caulk.
Now this is a family channel.
Caulk. Like Hulk. Caulk.
Oh, okay. What I ended up doing is I ended up going on Amazon and ordering this stuff. It's aluminum color, so it should match this pretty well. It's by a company called White Lightning. This is actually silicone. It's not going to really matter because we're inside and all that. If I was doing something exterior, I would not get silicone. I would get some sort of caulking.
Me think of the Tin Man in Wizard of Oz, because remember, the silver didn't come out of his skin. Water just blew in. Is it raining on your back?
Yeah, it's starting to rain.
We need to come back to finish this.
Yep.
Rain break.
Okay, roamers, that's going to wrap it up for this project. I really love the way this came out. It really makes the stair area look a lot nicer. Now we still do have to do the flooring in here, but we're not going to do that this year. We're not sure when we're going to do that, but we are eventually going to change out that flooring. Now what I'll do is I'll put a list down in the video description for all the materials I used for this project. Now if you found this video helpful, I'd really appreciate it if you'd share it with your friends and family on social media. And if you haven't yet subscribed, go ahead and hit that subscribe button and ring the bell. That way you'll be notified each time we upload a new video. And make sure to leave a comment, that way you could be part of the conversation. Until next time, we'll see you.